Right, you probably gain it back the minute you eat.
I started eating before he did that. When I knew I was heavy, I was doing Subway. You know, because I figured if that one fat guy could do it.
Jared.
You know, yeah, it's going to help me. And I did. I was buying Subway salads, and you know, every day I was doing the Slim Fast drinks.
Oh, those are horrible.
In the morning. I love those things.
Really?
I think
okay, I can take one.
I think it's an acquired.
But you know what? Over 3-4 months, I probably lost maybe 5 pounds.
Yeah.
And then you gotta buy those shakes. They're not cheap.
Yeah, and they're too they're not. They're like
those cardboard shakes.
The chalk.
I love them.
It tastes like.
That's it. They taste like
chalky, yeah.
But nevertheless, I thought, and I started to drink more water.
They're supposed to be like a meal supplement, right? I drink those things. I'd be hungry in 2 hours. Just be like, that was.
Well, yeah. I thought, well, you know, I'm eating better, so it's gonna pay off in a little bit, but you know,
5 pounds.
5 pounds was.
Well, plus the 5 pounds wasn't the fat that he was trying to lose. It wasn't in the areas that he was wanting to lose.
I was just disappointed.
Yeah, he would still have the areas that he's wanting to lose, and yet he's losing weight. And he's like, where is it coming off of?
Oh.
It wasn't coming. It was.
Well, one of the questions I always get is, how do you maintain the weight? Like, how are you keeping at 205? You know, if you drop 40 pounds, how are you stabilizing? Like, you're eating pizza, or we're watching you eat some popcorn at the movies and stuff, but you're not gaining any weight. And the best example I tell them is, when you're up here, your weight's at, when my weight was at 245, that was the ceiling. That was like the new ceiling. And when you go on a diet, you lose the weight. You starve yourself of everything. So you go down and you hit the ground floor, but then the first thing you do is you go and grab that carne asada burrito, that hamburger, all that sugar that you've deprived yourself of. And then what you do is you go back up real quickly, because your memory goes, where was my body weight at? And it goes up there, but then it usually hits that roof so hard it breaks through. And when it breaks through, now it's going to make a new ceiling. And that's why all these people that do diets not only lose the weight, but then gain what they do, but they gain more and stuff. With this program, you go down, you stabilize, you kind of reboot your body weight memory, and because you're building a new ceiling, so now your new ceiling's down here, not up here. And so when you do eat that food, your body's going, oh, here's my ceiling, here's my ceiling. It's not as high, so it can't bust through, because you've stabilized over those 2 or 3 weeks of maintaining on phase 3 and stuff. So, you know, and so you don't have this old ceiling that was up here is gone, because now when you eat that hamburger or that pizza, it just taps it. It doesn't know what to do.
It's not just that, though. For me, it just changes the way you think.
I think it's also, you know, getting used to the constant weighing, so that way you know exactly where you're at and where you're going.
Right.
And because, you know, how often do people normally weigh themselves? I wouldn't weigh myself at all, unless I happen to be at a doctor's office or something. Yeah. It's not like I was going to run out. I didn't even own a scale.
Me either.
So I bought a scale after this whole thing, and it's like, okay, now it's like, you go to bed, you wake up in the morning, you weigh yourself, it's like, okay, where am I? Good, bad, or otherwise?
Well, I had other health aspects popping up, though. Probably some of you,
your low blood,
some of you guys did.
I wish Elder was just here. His blood pressure.
I had, that's what I did, dude. I was on high blood pressure medication. I was also on medication for tension, hypertension.
Oh, wow.
And because my blood pressure was, all of a sudden my blood pressure, not sky high, but it was like when I went in, it was like 190 something. No, 140 something.
Yeah.
Over 90, like 98, and that's the part they were mostly concerned with, was the lower, the diastolic. And so they put me on on that, and I was also getting breakouts on my ankles that prompted me to go to the doctor, and I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on. Well, I was getting blood pressure spikes. So it was spiking, and I was getting these rashes, which you can get, which I didn't even know anything about. And I also started having vision anomalies, where I was at work and I started looking through a Coke bottle thing, and they said that was probably a blood pressure spike. So I'm going, oh, doggone, man. And now, you know, I'm 46 years old, so I mean, or almost 46, so, and it's
Collecting Social Security yet?
but you know, that scared me, the blood pressure thing, and that started to scare me, and that's when I first started eating differently at like Subway and stuff like that, and trying to.
But
you know,
since this.
But now I'm not on the blood pressure med. I'm not on the tension med. I'm not on anything at all.
Did you go off the medication just by yourself, or?
Well, I basically they had me on a really small amount. It wasn't like it was. I mean, I was taking a quarter of one tablet in the morning of the blood pressure med, and it basically just you know, keeps you.
He slowly went off.
And I slowly.
When we read the manuscript, and it said to, you know, try and be off of as many medications as possible.
Right.
Since he was on the amount that he was, and we decided this is something that we wanted to give his body a chance to really reset itself. The whole, really reset itself. And if your body's being assisted by a medication, then is it really going to reset itself, or is it kind of being assisted? So he decided to come off of it, and I'm glad he did, because he's not on any of it, and that's...
It was slow.
And his blood pressure has been consistent since, so it's been 3 months.
More than that.
A little bit more than that, a little bit more than 3 months. Completely, consistently, his blood pressure doesn't go up or down by more than a couple points, but everybody's does.
Well, it's going to vary. Your blood pressure can vary 30
So,
points in
it's
one day
great.
for one person, but it's just, you have to look over it over time. You have to keep taking it.
Yeah.
And, you know,
No,
and it's not just there are other warning signs, you know, the fact that I started having the rashes on my ankles and the vision thing, you know, there were other just early warning signs of prehypertension that were starting to happen. And
And now you don't need it.
No, I haven't been on it for months. No, not at all.
Yeah. Well, I wish Eldridge was here, because he told me on the phone, we were talking today, like his doctor was going to prescribe him for high blood pressure. His body fat was too high. His salt intake. He was going to have to take medicine for that. I mean, there was like 4 or 5 different factors, and he's like 40, and because of this program, he lost a lot of weight. He lost like 35 pounds, half the guy that I knew, seriously.
Yeah.
And he said he went back to the doctor after doing it doing the whole program the first time. He's now doing it a second time, but the doctor says he's healthy. Like, everything's gone. There's no high blood pressure, no cholesterol's down to normal. His body fat is in the right levels. The salt pressure and stuff like that is gone. I wish he was here.
That's the other thing.
That's a huge thing to be able to be off of, not have to go on any of that thing, and
my labs,
just be healthy.
when I had labs done, that was the other thing. My cholesterol was way high. My bad cholesterol was high, and my good cholesterol was too low. So it was a number of things, and the things started stacking.
It's the first time I'm excited to go to the doctor and have my physical. Because a year ago he said, you know, I don't want to be the doom and gloom doctor. And then he said, but you're at an age where you need to start being concerned with some of these things. And now I'm going to show up, and weight was one of them. The cholesterol was one of them.
Her cholesterol.
Now my blood pressure is super uber low. But I'm excited to go to the doctor and not have them go, yep, 155. They're going to go, oh, 130? What happened?
Are you okay?
You know what
They'll
else
probably
is
send
good?
me for blood tests.
The weight loss has helped my balance again.
Oh, at all.
yeah.
I used to be in martial arts,
Yeah.
so
Really?
you know, just because now I feel like my center of gravity is going back to where it needs to be.
One
Back to
negative
where your
part
body
is though,
wants it to be.
when my son and I used to, Gabe and I freaking mess around, I could just throw my weight on him and that would be the end of it.
Can't do that no more.
Now
You
you gotta
can't
be
use that.
Not
You
anymore.
can't be
I'm
like
screwed, dude.
big
I'm sorry.
country. You can't be big country and just lay
No,
on
I
the poor
can't
dude.
just freaking lay on him, dude, because I tried that the other day. He just went,